Jim, as a separate topic here, but we can go back to all this in a second, but you brought it up, so I want to ask you a question about the Brandon Cutler incident. Brandon Cutler retweeted a Deadspin article, you called it a hit piece, on CM Punk, and wrote, "Somebody gets it." That tweet wasn't up too long and he took it down. After everything that's happened, from the very beginning of CM Punk getting there, and some of the issues, of course, involving Colt Cabana, who, in the general scheme of things, means nothing to professional wrestling in 2023, let alone to AEW's business in 2023. Here you have Brandon Cutler doing this. Like we've said and joked about, but it's true, he's only there because he's the Young Bucks bitch. And now this guy is going out there and tweeting something like this. Wasn't this the perfect opportunity for Tony Khan to show people that the games are over? If Tony Khan had fired him for that, because we know it's in violation of the AEW talent playbook, if Tony Khan had said, you know what, you right now have made this situation worse. I'm sorry, we can't have you here. Would that have helped the situation? Because it would have indicated that Tony's going to finally not be so hands-off? Or would it have hurt the situation?
Well, I mean, anything that you do to chastise or penalize or slap on the wrist or punish for their actions, Maddie and Nikki and Kenny, it's going to make the situation worse on their part because they believe that, they're in fantasy land and think that not only are they big stars and important EVPs, but that they're the big shit in that company and that they do no wrong. Obviously, Brandon Cutler should be fired on general principle. He never should have been hired in the first place. If they could figure out what he does, maybe they could ask him to stop doing it, but nobody really even knows that. But the bigger thing is he wouldn't have done that had he not been instructed to by his, executives, his bosses. He doesn't work for Tony Khan. He works for his grade school friends, Maddie and Nikki. And they couldn't do it, but he could do it. And then they could say, well, we'll make him take it down later. But he got the point across. And Tony allows this to go on. And if you read the article, I've known neighbors having a property line dispute that spoke nicer to each other than this alleged author who has nothing to do with the company and so therefore shouldn't really have any inside information because he's not anybody in wrestling. He's just some mark that writes on a site. He's mad at Punk. Maybe his girlfriend had a crush on Punk. I don't know what the personal issue is. Or maybe he's mad because he's got a crush on Maddie or Nikki, whoever wrote this thing. I don't know. There's some romance involved somewhere for a spurned lover to sound like this. So that's, yes, Cutler should be fired because he potentially threw another monkey wrench in Tony Khan's efforts to bring a biggest star in his company back to work and draw some money over the summer. But if Cutler should be fired, then also Maddie or Nikki or both should be as well because they're obviously the ones that told him to do it. Because they think, well, we'll cover for you. We won't let you get too much heat with Tony. We just can't do it ourselves because it'd be too obvious.